Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. The three words in it translate out to order, balance, and chaos, and it's designed to be a tattoo going from the person's center of their chest down to the left side, so the left chest and shoulder. Um, and I have got some references from them that I wanted to kind of match the style towards, as well as work with the more simplistic, fine line style of the circles themselves. So let's go ahead and talk about the layout. So here are the three words: order, balance, and chaos. And stylistically, I wanted order to be symmetric and orderly, and actually worked for this design to be symmetric. I also wanted each of them to have this little start marker, which is by nature a non-symmetric symbol, so you can tell which direction counterclockwise is. So this little start guy is the only thing that's asymmetric about this design, and that's because it has to be an asymmetric symbol. But anyway, I like that it is symmetric. And then balance, I wanted to have kind of a vertical line separating the things, kind of like one side and this side, like two sides of the thing get balanced, right? The order and the chaos gets balanced. Plus, stylistically, I think it really fits both separate and connect the designs here in this finish thing I kind of drew. And then last but not least, we have chaos, and I wanted all of the dots to be kind of in a splash pattern, the circles not to be concentric. And yeah, so because there's clear patterns with the little Triskeli there, and there's like the dots lining up there, and then the dots lining up there. But here there is no real or proper pattern, which is intentional, so that's the pattern for the chaos symbol. So I ordered them and put them like this, just to kind of match these geometric images I was sent and the planetary sort of style of tattoos. So yeah, and I also didn't want to go too crazy with the stuff outside the circles, just because I didn't want it to distract or take away from the words and have the words still be translatable. So this is much simpler of a design relative to something like this where there's 9 featured planets, right? So 9 circles. And this where there's like a whole bunch of moons, even though there's just a couple of little bits, it's kind of more like this reference for the decorative stuff on the outside. Just with a bit less going on around the circles because there's a lot going on within the circles. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I hope you like the design. Oh yeah, I have to read it. Let me let me read it. Okay, so you read the script starting at the bottom and you go counterclockwise, or starting at this start marker and going counterclockwise. That's why it's important for me to have all 3 of these in case you did want to rotate or adjust any of these designs. I just currently have them positioned in such a way that they're still legible, with the bottom being mostly at the bottom. So bottom counterclockwise is reading order. And then vowels are these little guys. Yeah, there's some small circles. And consonants are these bigger circles and these divots. If you look above me, there is a grid. There are 4 different rows, and those rows, one of them, the top one, starts with this horseshoe shape. And then the second one is a floating circle inside our word circle, like these guys. And then the third one is a shallow divot, like these guys. So those 4 different letter stems, I didn't talk about crossing circles because there are none in this set of words. So those are what determine the rows the letter's in, and then the columns are determined by the amount of dots and lines ending on a letter. For example, in this shallow divot, there's 1, 2, 3 dots, so that makes it in the 3-dot column. Similarly, there's 1, 2, 3 dots on this deep divot. So they're in the same column. The R and the D are in the same column. They're just in different rows because the R is in the 3rd row, a shallow divot, and the D is in the top row, the horseshoe shape or the deep divot. So that's the rows and columns and dots. And then lines. So this is the line modifier in this word, and it is on this circle. Lines count where they end on a word circle. So they end on the letter stem here, and that means it counts here because it passes through here. It doesn't count here. It counts where it ends. That's why it counts for this circle, the second of these 3 circles, not this one here. Yeah, and then lines, they can go either direction. So this line and these 2 lines, they all 3 come from this, making it a 3-line letter, and 2 lines come from this, making it a 2-line letter. So yeah, vowels. Vowels are in different positions depending on what vowel they are. An O is internal, so it's inside our word circle or on the line of a consonant stem. E's are centered, so they're centered right inside the middle of our consonant or centered on the line of the word circle. So here's another E, just centered on the word circle line. And then A's are external. So these little guys, they're outside our word circle, but still inside our sentence circle. And I's and U's have lines going inwards and outwards, but we don't have any I's or U's in this, so I'm not too worried about explaining those. So yeah, this is an O because it's inside our word circle. This is an R because it's a shallow divot with 3 dots. This horseshoe has 3 dots and is a deep divot, so it's a D. And we have an E centered on it. When there's a vowel and a consonant together, you read the consonant before the vowel, that's why it's a D, and then the E, and then the R is another shallow divot with 3 dots, the same as that one. So that's order. And then balance, starting at the start marker, we have a B, a horseshoe with nothing on it, the A outside the word circle, 1, 2, 3 dots on this floating circle, so it's an L, another A outside the word circle, this N is a floating circle with 1 line, and then a C has 1, 2, 3, 4 dots on it, and is floating inside our word circle, and then our E at the end, and it is crossing our word circle line and centered on it. So that's balance, and then chaos, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 dots on this C. The H is the horseshoe with 2 lines, the A is outside the word circle, the O is inside our word circle, and an S is a shallow divot with 3 lines. So yeah, that's that design. I hope you like it. Thanks. Bye.